Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and recently I've been getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I loved it back in like 2004, 2005 is when I first got into it. That was probably when it first came out. I was like 10 or 11. It probably came out like a year or two prior. I don't know. But I remember back in the day, I had a bunch of cards. I didn't have all the good ones. I didn't have the Gods or Yugioh, but I definitely still had like Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, all that stuff. I even had a Duel Disk. Like, I was invested. Like, I was really excited for Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day. And I casually played it. I didn't go to tournaments or anything. I didn't get into the metagame. But I casually played it with my friends for years. Up until Pendulum Summoning came out. After Pendulum Summoning, I gave up. That's when I thought the game started to get ridiculous and broken. So that's when I gave up on dueling. But there were times, like, in between, like, Pendulum Monsters and now, they've released some stuff that piqued my interest. For example, like the legendary decks, especially the first one. Like, that really got me excited. There were cards in there that I've wanted since I was a kid, and they're all there. Set of the Gods, Set of Yugioh, a bunch of Magicians, the Magnet Warriors, all that stuff. Like, that had me excited. But I haven't found a Yu-Gi-Oh! Box that got me that excited since then. But recently, they released a new box. I watch Yu-Gi-Tubers every now and again. Like, I'm subbed to, like, SimplyUnlucky, I think it's Team APS, I can't remember what their thing is. Your Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel. Like, I watch a few Yu-Gi-Tubers because I like their content. And every once in a while, SimplyUnlucky does an unboxing of certain sets or certain boxes and all that stuff. And it gets me excited. I'm like, oh, these look really cool. And every once in a while, it gets me to buy something. And this is what I bought. He did an unboxing of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duel Battle City box. Now, before I saw this, I heard of speed dueling. I kind of knew about it. It's just pretty much the real-life version of Duel Links, but they only mess with the first generation of Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't do anything from GX or anything past that, just OG Yu-Gi-Oh! But that's good for, like, nostalgia's sake. That's good for old people like me, right? And when I was watching him unbox this, my jaw was dropped the whole time. Like, it came with a set of the Gods, it came with like 8 decks, a bunch of skill cards, a crap ton of extra cards. So I thought for $30, by the way, $30, this was like absolute bang for your buck, and I might buy a couple more. One to keep in the box because I know the value is going to go up because they're going to discontinue speed dueling soon enough because no one supports it. Like, no local tourneys, no local stores are supporting it anymore. Unfortunately, it's dead because they haven't marketed it very well. They haven't done a good job of promoting this thing. But for 30 bucks, 8 decks, plus extra cards, absolutely. So worth it. So I want to buy another box set so I can use them on a Duel Disk. And plus another one just to keep sealed because I know it's going to go up in value. So after me and my friends played with this, we fell in love with it. Like, we're not into the traditional new Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the new advanced format. We think it's ridiculous too. But we love how quick this is. We love how it's just back to the old cards where things aren't too complicated. They really had something going. Now it's probably going to die. But because I fell in love with this, what do you do when you fall in love with cards?
My main man says, buy more cards!
That's right, buy more cards. So that's exactly what I did. So they have structure decks, which I used to buy those all the time when I was a kid. But they have structure decks, and normally they come with like 40 cards or so. But because speed dueling, they make you reduce it to now like 20 to 30 cards. They put in 2 decks in there, so it's easy for you to play with friends. So I bought like 3 different sets of those. And there's also ones that have like 3 decks in them. I'm going to see if I can find them in the wild. We'll see what happens. But we got okay, it's hard to see because it's camera and a ring light. But we got a Yugi deck that has Blackluster Soldier on it. And that was also paired with a Pegasus deck that has like a bunch of Toon monsters in it, but not Blue Eyes Toon Dragon for some reason. But I like this deck. This is really cool. And we got another box that came with Bakura and Merrick. So we played with those, and that was fantastic. Then we also got a box for Weevil and Rex, which we haven't touched those yet because we haven't done it yet. And I also bought some extra cards to spice up the decks. Like, I got a couple of more Blue Eyes White Dragons. I ordered 2 of them, and they sent me 3. This box already comes with 1, but they sent me 3 more. So, cool. I ordered a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon for speed dueling, because they have speed duel versions of these cards, by the way. As of right now, I also ordered a Guilford the Lightning, but I also plan on getting more cards. Like, Gearfried, Baby Dragon, Time Wizard, and Thousand Dragon, and a couple of more polymerizations. Point is, I'm investing. I love this a lot, and I want to get the cards now, you know, like, before they get too valuable. Which, I honestly, no, I'm pretty sure the card's going to be worthless soon enough. But, like, you can still use these cards in standard format, which is good, I guess. Just not vice versa. And I also bought a couple of SDK Blue Eyes. I've already had one, and one of them's already in here. But I also bought 2 more because I want them to match. Because I've had 2 more. They were from the duelist packs of Kaiba, so they weren't in their ultra rare. They weren't SDK exactly. So having all 3 exactly the same now is satisfying. I love that. And I also rebought the first Yu-Gi-Oh movie on Blu-ray. I've had this on DVD since I was a kid, but I don't have it on Blu-ray. So I bought it on Blu-ray, and I had a $5 coupon on Amazon, so I only paid like $10 for this movie. So I'm super stoked to watch this with Michaela. She has no idea what Yu-Gi-Oh really is, but she's gonna watch it with me. And I also have the other movies on Blu-ray, so I've had these for a while. The Bonds Beyond Time, I'm not gonna lie, I watched it again recently. It's not a very good movie. It's a decent celebration, but for a theatrical release, it wasn't worth it. But the Dark Side Dimension, on the other hand, that's great. I like this movie a lot. But I'm excited to see how much I still like this movie. But the real reason I bought those Blue Eyes is because you see the SDK in Ultra Rare, exactly how it looks on there in the movie. So I'm excited to see how this looks. But if you're gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh!, you need something to play on. The one thing I've actually gotten a long time ago. I got this last year when I got my Amazon credit card because they give you like $70 for free to work with. So I bought some things that I've wanted for a while. And that is a 2-player traditional Yu-Gi-Oh mat. I got a Pokemon one as well, but we're only going to show off the Yu-Gi-Oh one. So as you can tell, there's no pendulum summoning. There's no link summoning. There's no bullcrap that I don't like anymore. This is the OG Yu-Gi-Oh I used to like. And there is a speed dueling version of this mat as well, but I don't plan on getting that because I don't plan on spending another $45 to $50 for another mat and never use this one again, you know? Just stick with this. Just only use 3 zones. You're fine. But it doesn't end there, as you can tell by the thumbnail. So, you already know what's coming, because again, you saw the thumbnail. But let me build it up a little bit, you know? So, I've wanted this thing for a year and a half. So, it wasn't just an impulse buy. However, I wanted to get this day one because this was coming around, like, I think November, December, around 2019. And at the time, my girlfriend at the time and my mom had no idea what to get me for Christmas. So I told them, how about you split this? Because after shipping, it would have been like $200. And they thought it was too expensive. I had no room for it, and I wouldn't really use it. So it wasn't very practical. So they're like, don't worry about that. Don't get it. And they talked me out of it, sadly. But I fair warned them, though. If we don't get this now, I'm probably never going to be able to get it because it's going to be super expensive. Turns out that didn't stop me. But after, you know, a year and a half or so, no, it's been like over a year. So it's been over a year since the thing came out. It's gone up a little bit. A little bit. This thing costed more than my car payment. I paid, after an eBay gift card, by the way, I redeemed an eBay gift card through Honey. So that covered most of the tax. Not all of it, but most of the tax. I paid $367 on my credit card for this. This is the Proplica Duel Disk. Like I said, I have a Duel Disk, but this is a 1-for-1 adult replica. And it's a lot more show accurate. And I've been watching reviews for a long time for this thing, dreaming of the day I could get this. And look at it, it's finally here. But my favorite thing about this box, not only does Kaiba look fantastic, and I'm surprised they haven't shown off Yugi on there because, you know, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! But my favorite thing about this box is the other side. This side. Because if you've seen the show, and they show a picture of the actual box for the Duel Disk, which will pop up right here, you see they tried to replicate that. I didn't expect them to do that. And this is like how I prefer to show off this box whenever I have space for this. Yeah, I have no way of storing this in my room. There is nowhere safe I can put this. I have to keep this in my parents' room for now until I move out, probably in like October or something. But anyway, I was super excited for this. So, I've done a live stream showing off this thing, like unboxing it and playing with it. And people were asking me if I'll do a review on it. And at first, I thought no. Because there's dozens of YouTube videos already. But then it hit me. I think I should do a review on it coming from someone who bought it after it first came out. Because a bunch of reviews that you see right now, like a majority of them, if not all of them, are all reviewed when it first came out. And they do like a first hands-on review. They unbox it and play with it for a little bit and tell you briefly what it is. After I play with it for probably like a week or so, I want to tell you my true thoughts on it. Because there are things I love about it, there's things I hate about it, and is it worth the now inflated price? Because I wanted to come from that perspective. Is it worth it after it being inflated? But let me show this thing off. This thing, oh my god. This thing's big. So some of you are probably thinking, Kyle, why in tarnation would you spend over $300, almost $400 on this thing? Because I like it and I was getting tax money. I only bought it because a tax return was coming. That's the only reason why I thought it was worth it. Originally, I was going to wait for Too Many Games to be canceled because I was saving up for Too Many Games. And if it got canceled, I'd buy this. But then I was getting hyped and tax season's coming. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Buy it now. But I also love the back of it. I'm not sure if the camera's going to be able to pick it up because of my ring light. But it's accurate to the show. Like, this is trying to be accurate to the show. But unfortunately, it doesn't fold up, which I'm fine with. I don't care about that much. So you put your arm in. You grip onto the arm grip right here because this thing, again, this thing's heavy. This thing's probably like between 5 to 10 pounds, somewhere in that area. I tried weighing it on like a little scale and it was too heavy for that. So I'm like, okay. And I don't think it's heavy enough to work on my actual scale because it's a digital scale. But after holding this for a while, this will hurt your arm. But I love the way this looks so much. But it's hard for me to like hold on to cards and hold on to the grip at the same time because my hands are tiny. But if you're curious, you can still wear an Apple Watch while holding this thing. That's something I was actually curious about before I bought this thing. But my favorite thing is that it supports card sleeves. It does a great job of handling both card sleeves as well as unsleeved cards. I'm not going to tell you what I like and dislike about this thing all that much because I want to leave that for the review. In a couple of weeks, I do plan on reviewing this thing. So if you haven't subbed and you're new for some reason, subscribe so you can know from an after scalped perspective, is it worth the current price? Whoops, the memory card got full. Had to fix that real quick. But yeah, the Duel Disk. But yeah, I absolutely love this thing. It even comes with a display stand and play cards. So whenever I do get my nice new shelving, what I want to do is actually display the 3 God cards on here. So I'm excited to do that, absolutely. And I'm still not done, by the way. I still plan on buying more cards. And I actually want to do a photo shoot with this Duel Disk at my local card shop and the mall. So if you want to see that, follow my Instagram. I'll be a model. But even though I did spend a lot of money on all these cards, I probably dropped well over $400 in the past month on Yu-Gi-Oh. But at the end of the day, I think the thing that like makes me happy, especially when I look at this old Duel Disk as well, like if you want to see a comparison, I posted this as a comment on a Yu-Gi-Oh giveaway about like what's the most valuable thing in your collection. Pretty much what it comes down to is I've been into Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time, and I still have some of my first cards. Like my favorite card of all time is probably Mystical Elf from, I think it's Legend of Blue Eyes, right? I think it came from LOB. And when I get this new place, I plan on showing off both my original and the new Proplica, because I plan on keeping both. But to think, I had this since I was a kid, and now I have this as an adult. Like, it really shows, like, how much I've grown, like, not just age-wise, but even, like mentally. Even though I spent a lot of money on this Duel Disk. But really, though, life is a big journey. And it's also a big roller coaster. So it's crazy to think, like, I've gotten to this point. And even, like, all the cards I've gotten, too. Like, as a kid, I've always wanted, like, Exodia. I've wanted the God cards and all that stuff. And now I have multiple sets of each. Like, I have probably at least 7 sets of the God cards now. And I have, I think, over 2 sets. Almost 3 for Exodia. And plus like a bunch of other cards I've always wanted as a kid I have now. But morally what it comes down to is these are things I've wanted for a very long time. And with patience and hard work, it can happen. And that's how you gotta tackle life. If there's something you really are working hard for, if there's something that you really want, work your ass off for it. Eventually it's gonna happen. And now I'm getting ready to move out, you know? And the story is not done. Like, it's crazy to think how far I've come, you know? So even though I'm definitely a big man child by getting this thing, I worked hard for it. Like, me buying this, I didn't even get my tax return yet. Not even from this recording. I've had the money sitting in the savings for a while. And I still have plenty of savings left. But I thought I worked hard. I've done a lot. I definitely deserve to treat myself to something glorious like this. So that's pretty much all I gotta say in this video. I mean, I still plan on buying more cards, obviously. Like, I'm pretty confident this is just gonna be a phase, and eventually I'm gonna stop buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards again, and it'll happen, and Pokemon will pick back up for me again. Like, I go through waves when it comes to like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and other stuff like that, even Sonic or Crash. But it's fun to like go back to your childhood, you know? And that's pretty much it for this video. Just to look back on stuff. But let me know in the comments. Do you like Yu-Gi-Oh? Are you into it at all? What did Yu-Gi-Oh mean to you? I'm a small YouTube channel, so I actually read my comments. But I do genuinely want to hear what you guys have to say. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. In the description, there's my social media. Please check out my, my Instagram for my my little photo shoot I do with this thing. And also follow my TikTok because I do TikToks. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys to death. And I guess I'll see you on the next one. So, peace, or what, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's your move.